Tomorrow, the Associated Press poll will release its preseason rankings going into the 2023 season. There are fans who are going to be mad because their team is underranked, and the media will comb through these rankings, sharing their opinion for the next 2 weeks leading into the college football season. The AP poll started in 1934 and is ingrained in college football, even though it's no longer used to decide the national champions. But what is the history and why did it start? Stay tuned to find out. But before we get into this, if you enjoy college football content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'm planning to release a video every day for the month of August. Also, let me know what your preseason top 25 is in the comment section below. The AP college football poll began back in the 1930s. There was a demand by fans and the news media to rank the top teams in the country based on the results on the gridiron. Due to long-standing historical ties college football conferences have with their bowl games like the Rose Bowl and Orange Bowl, which usually pay out a handsome sum of money, college football did not have a tournament or playoff to determine the national champion at the Division I FBS level. Lower levels like the FCS, Division II, Division III, and NAIA all have their own conference tournaments, but not the FBS. The AP poll began releasing its rankings in November of 1934, with the first winner being declared as the Minnesota Golden Gophers, who went 6-0. Stanford finished second and took on Alabama, who finished third in the Rose Bowl because the Big Ten did not allow its members to play in the bowl games until the 1947 Rose Bowl. To round out the top 10, you have Pitt at number 4, Princeton at number 5, Illinois at 6, Navy at 7, Colgate at 8, Ohio State at 9, and Syracuse finished 10th. In 1935, AP sports editor Alan J. Gold declared a three-way tie for the national championship in football between the Gophers again, Princeton, and Southern Methodist. Minnesota fans protested, and a number of Gold's colleagues, led by Charles Cy Sherman, suggested he create a poll of sports editors instead of only using his own list. In 1936, the first weekly AP poll began releasing, led by Minnesota once again. Gosh, the Gophers! Duke, Army, Northwestern, Purdue, USC, Notre Dame, Pitt, and Yale are all in the top 10. These early polls showed that college football was finally beginning to become a national game. Football originated in my home state of New Jersey at Rutgers, and the Ivy League schools ran rules committees, dominated the All-American list, and were considered to play a superior brand of football, even as excellent teams quickly popped up at Michigan, Chicago, Georgia Tech, and elsewhere. The 1930s showed that the Midwest was slowly starting to dominate the game, along with some Southern institutions. In 1936, no Northeastern team finished inside the top 5, and schools from the Deep South, West, Great Plains, and Midwest were all represented. From 1936 to 1988, the poll only ranked 20 teams, except for 1961 to 1967, when only 10 teams were recognized. At the end of the 1947 season, the AP released an unofficial post-bowl poll, which differed from the regular season final poll. Before 1968, the final AP poll of the season was released following the end of the regular season. Controversy hit when in 1964, Alabama was named the national champion in the final regular season AP poll, which was released at the end of the regular season. Alabama would go on to lose to Texas in the Orange Bowl, leaving Arkansas as the only undefeated, untied team, and they would go on to beat Nebraska in the Cotton Bowl. In 1965, the AP's decision to wait to crown a champion paid off handsomely, as top-ranked Michigan State lost to UCLA in the Rose Bowl, number 2 Arkansas lost to LSU in the Cotton Bowl, and 4th-ranked Alabama defeated 3rd-ranked Nebraska in the Orange Bowl, vaulting the Crimson Tide to the top of the AP's final poll. Michigan State was named national champion in the final UPI Coaches Bowl, though, which was not conducting a post-bowl poll at the time. Beginning in 1968, the post-bowl game poll became permanent, and the AP championship reflected the bowl game results. The UPI did not follow suit with the coaches poll until the 1974 season. The preseason poll began in 1950, the reason for this video today. Notre Dame led that poll, followed by number 2 Army, number 3 Michigan, number 4 Tennessee, and number 5 Texas. Oklahoma, ranked 6th at the time, won the national championship later that year. In 1989, the AP poll expanded to 25 teams, but in 1998, the BCS computer model replaced the AP poll as the most important poll when choosing the national champion before the College Football Playoff Committee in 2014. But the AP poll still has its place in college football today. In late August, the annual preseason poll comes out, which ranks the 25 best teams in college football, and then proceeds to release said poll week after week until after the bowl games. More than 60 sports writers and broadcasters across the country cast their votes individually. The AP selects the voters by virtue of their experience covering the sport. Voters first create a list of what they consider the top 25 teams in the country. From there, they assign each team a number of points, awarding the best team the most points, which is 25. They give the second lowest number to the second best team, the third best team, and the fourth best team, etc. The AP then combines the numerical value of each voter's poll and ranks the teams by the number of points in descending order to create the final rankings. The issue is, there's inherent bias towards the teams that are voted by the preseason poll because they are viewed as key wins or losses because of how the teams look on paper. An 0-2 team ranked 20th can be viewed as a better team than a 2-0 team even if the 2-0 team won dominantly. There's also always going to be inherent human bias based on where you're from, where you went to school, and how you cover the sport. Also, a voter can't watch every college football game in the nation before casting their vote because it's just impossible. So you are picking and choosing what games you want to watch. The AP poll is not perfect, but it's still fun. So what are some fun facts? Ohio State has the most appearances in the AP poll going back to the start of the 2022 season. The Buckeyes have been ranked 950 times, followed by Michigan, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, and Alabama to finish out the top 5. Since the first college football top 25 AP poll was released in 1936, there have been 44 different teams to occupy the number 1 spot in AP poll history. Alabama has spent 10.3% of the all-time AP polls as the number 1 team in the nation, followed by Ohio State at 9.3%, Oklahoma at 8.8%, Notre Dame at 8.5%, and to round out the top 5, USC at 7.9%. Boston College and Wisconsin have spent the least amount of time ranked number 1 in the nation, just being ranked number 1 once. As I mentioned earlier, the AP poll isn't perfect, but it provided a way to crown a national champion before computers and stuff we later use today, like a college football committee. It is great for marketing early season games and creates hype for the upcoming football season. But what do you think? Which college football rankings are the best? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more college football content like this, and check out one of my other videos YouTube thinks you will love right here. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.